Welcome to Break the Ice with Nati Mieni. We are happy to be in this space and we hope you are happy to see our faces too. We know we've got ugly faces, so bear with the ugliness and listen to the little 2 cents that we hope makes sense that we are coming to share with you. Today, our topic that we are sharing is coming from an old saying that you've seen and heard for a long time. It says, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. I'm not going to decipher that saying. I'm going to add on to it and say, in my world, a bird in hand is worth three in the bush. We're going to be discussing this topic and we're going to be looking at it from the value of life and also looking at it from a business perspective. We are business people. We are always busy making things. We believe that with our hands we are able to create, and with our brains we are able to create. So, from that creative perspective, we are able to come in and share our 2 cents and hope that it makes sense. Yes, diving straight into the topic. Why three? Because you remember, here we ask questions. Ask questions about everything. So we're asking this question and we are saying, why three, not two? If you have a little ever been in a bush, this is me being practical, being stranded, any form of food that you would find becomes very valuable because it is your only means of survival. So, from that perspective, if you were to look at anything that you have as valuable and as your only means of survival, imagine what would trigger in your own mind. Very interesting to think about it from that perspective. So we also want you to imagine and start to think about it, because from a South African perspective, as I always say, that South Africa is where I come from, and I have to reflect on what has happened, and especially as a black man who opportunities in the business space only got opened a couple of less than 30 years ago, to be quite honest. And unfortunately for us in South Africa, that when those business opportunities were opened, we were told of them in form of government tenders. So, and a new word was developed and coined called tenderpreneurs, you know. And our government, whether they were coming from a good heart or whatever, or however, that's for you to analyze. I'm not here to analyze the government as yet. I'm just here to say they set up programs where they told business people just open a business and come and get funding. A lot of people went there, they went and they registered companies. Some people have got 30 companies registered, and they went up and started applying for funding. And to much of their dismay, none of them got funding. I'm one of those people that went through those processes of running around with your umsobomvus and your DTIs and your whatevers, trying to pitch businesses and pitch ideas that needed millions of rands to start, you know, because we all became excited about startups that were millions and millions of rands, and we had profit margins that were also going to catapult us into the first so-called the 1%ers, you know. So with that excitement, we went and we knocked on the doors, and the questions used to come up, questions of collateral, and we would bring up things of being previously disadvantaged, and yeah, I don't have what you're asking for, you know. And when we got our nose, we didn't understand them at that time, because also the newspapers didn't help, mass media didn't help as well, because there was a notion that was also being promoted that the politically connected were the ones that were getting funding. So now you found yourself with another conundrum of trying to find out who am I connected to? And if you found yourself not connected, a new frustration developed, And now, as time goes on, you look back and you say, well, if I was those people, I wouldn't have given me that money. And I know a lot of people, this becomes an emotional place because you say, no, I'm a black man and yeah, we've been done wrong. Yes, the cards are stacked against us and everything else. Now, why do I say I wouldn't have given myself money? Because what do I have to put on the table? What am I risking that is worth my life? Because if somebody was to walk into your house right now and say to you, okay, give me your house, I have this brilliant idea. After 6 months, I will give you your house plus interest, or the value of your house plus interest. You would say, what are you putting into the deal? And if he said he was putting in anything less than his house, if he has a house, you'd probably not entertain that. But yet, when we go to institutions, that is the mentality that we go with, and the mentality that has developed. So that has taken me back to say, okay, if I really am an entrepreneur, as I claim to be, what is entrepreneurship? You know, Entrepreneurship is about product creation. You know, it's about having something to offer. You know, yes, I'm not dissing people that are in the service orientated business. Also, part of a business is an offering that they are bringing on the table. So, if you look at it from that perspective and you say it's something that you are coming with to offer on the table, and you come here and you have no product offering, you find yourself in a difficult position, you know, because then a lot of people cannot take you seriously. But now just imagine if you had taken time and developed something, and you come in after a period of time and you say, this is what I've developed and this is how far I've gotten. I need help to take it from here to there. Different scenario. I'm not saying that people are going to buy into that. Yeah, I understand. But also question yourself, because most of the time, yes, our motivation as entrepreneurs is to live a lavish life, which is good. I love the nice things, and I'm all for nice things. But sometimes you look and say, yes, everything that I've ever touched was once somebody's dream. And that's being literal. Everything that you've ever touched was once somebody's dream. So those dreams came to reality one product at a time. And what is different between businesses that have survived 100 years and everything else, excluding their so-called advantages because that were set up by the system. What made those people stand out? Why is it that today we can talk in a capitalist system and talk about 1%ers and 10%ers and all of those things? So from that perspective, that is where we are coming from. We're saying, re-examine, what is it that you have? What value does it have to you? How can you best utilize it to achieve what you want to achieve? And with that, we say, leave your comments below. Let's engage on the topic. This is a topic that is still going to be carrying on, and we're going to expand a lot more on it, and we're going to bring people in under the subject of a bird in hand is worth three in the bush, and we're going to look at that from an entrepreneurial perspective, from a life perspective, on how we can enhance our own lives using this simple concept of saying, instead of looking at what is lacking, let's start looking at what we have and how we can enhance and create a better world with what we have. Thank you again for tuning in to Break the Ice with Natinyeni. Don't forget to leave your comments below and subscribe to our channel. Yes, we hit that like button and hit that notification so that you know every time we've got new content up. So please, please, please tune in. Tell your friends to tell their friends and their friends to tell their friends. We are here to break the ice. Tozan.